2 vanilla monsters, and a spell. That's all it took to make Noodle Ninjas my favorite new deck from the box and a viable ladder threat. The Noodle Art of Roastery provides a field-wide buff to all Pyros. On a full board, this frequently equates to an additional 3,000 damage. With Spice the Elite Noodle Ninja to boost your monsters even further, the deck can OTK out of nowhere. Innocent Lancer offers piercing damage, allowing players to take advantage of these attack boosts even against defense position monsters. Widespread Ruin is a powerful defensive tool for the deck, but aggro decks like this take the best advantage of it. Leaving the opponent without their strongest monster makes it even easier to push for damage or even OTK. The rest of the deck is dedicated to generic good cards. The 1500 attack point vanillas serve as fuel for Spice, while Dragius remains the strongest individual monster in the game. While it may not be winning tournaments, I would easily say it's better than Beetle or Blue Falcon formation, making it worthy of consideration for any players climbing to King of Games. Alright, so up against Marumon we start, and we get 3 set monsters, which is going to help fuel the graveyard for later. We bring out Dragius and set 2 copies of the spell card. We clear their board and inflict a bit of damage. They bring out a Piercing Dragon Bunker Strike and followed up with Ancient Arise Dragon to clear our board. However, my opponent has been caught al dente, and they are now well done. With Spice the Elite Noodle Ninja and 2 copies of the Noodle Art of Roastery, all 3 of our monsters are going to 4,000 plus attack. And that is enough to take out anybody in the game. Let's stir the pot one more time and take things a bit slower. Our opponent here opens up with 2 medicine cards, implying it might not be a great deck. However, they do manage to still set 3 monsters, so they don't brick on their cards. We have Spice the Elite Noodle Ninja and a bunch of normal monsters to summon out our boss right away. We activate the effect just to try to mill more cards and provide a bigger boost later, but we do hit the Widespread Ruin, which is really unfortunate. However, it ultimately is not going to matter. Mystic Dealer gets to cycle some cards, and then we see Ose tribute off for a Prima Guitarna. With the Rock and Refrain, they are going to be able to clear my board and inflict some pretty significant damage. However, all hope is not lost. As long as there are life points, there is a way. We draw for a turn, and we obtain Multi-Strike Dragon Dragius. We activate our skill to gain an extra 1,000 life points, and we set that Noodle Art of Roastery for later. We tribute off our 2 Pyro monsters for Dragius and clear out the board. Keeping the Dark Sorcerer on the field is also a viable option, but I figured, given that they're running Red Medicine and Prima Guitarna, I wanted to force them to draw something good in order to actually out my Dragius. They use Legend Draw and another Red Medicine. They bring out a monster but ultimately decide to tribute Set, which to me implies that the Legend monster in their deck may not have been Summon Skull. They might have drawn into a Dark Magician that they aren't able to capitalize on. We use Monster Reincarnation to ditch Summon Skull and get Spice the Elite Noodle Ninja. Then, we bring out Innocent Lancer, and it is time to perform buffs. Unfortunately, I'm not able to discard a card for Innocent Lancer's effect, but with the Noodle Art of Roastery and Spice the Elite Noodle Ninja, we have multiple 4,000 plus attack point monsters, and Dragius swinging in twice for a total of over 10,000 damage, once again closing out the game. Okay, so I was already done making this video, but as I was playing on my phone, I had this game and knew I had to include it. I opened with a pretty mediocre looking hand, or rather one that would have been really good going first. However, my opponent bricks on low levels, and I'm able to bring out an Innocent Lancer turn number 1. Then, I get in some piercing damage, and if we fast forward a little bit, you'll see I inflict some piercing damage. The opponent doesn't have any high levels ready to go, so they just set 3 again, and after a second Innocent Lancer and my 2 face-down Roasteries, despite them only playing defense position monsters the entire game, we win. With 2 Innocent Lancers at 4,700 attack.